There's a new restaurant where you can eat sausage off a naked body.
Ew.
Holy shit, there's a new poop-themed restaurant.
And making a meal out of mealworms, coming up today on The Point. Hello and welcome to The Point, the only talk show bringing gay and straight men together to see what happens. And we have a very special guest co-host with us today. His name is Lee Cadesky, and he is one of the brothers behind I want to make sure I say this right, Sifu Foods.
That's right.
And One Hop Kitchen.
Yep. Yeah, the second one's easier to pronounce.
Yeah.
Welcome. One Hop Kitchen.
And your food company is a little unusual.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Tell us why.
So we're looking at sustainable alternatives to meat and protein, and in particular we're looking at insects. A whole range of different ones, and how we can turn them into all sorts of things, from hot dogs to spaghetti sauce to even things like dumplings.
Oh, dumplings.
Wow.
You're gonna be able to eat these?
Wait, what are in those? Worms?
So how did this idea come about? How did Sifu Foods come about?
So this all happened in about the fall of 2014. I was a grad student at Cornell. I was studying food science. And
So you are a food scientist?
I am a food scientist. I was learning about cheese and a lot about what happens if you try and make cheese at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah.
It's a question we've all asked.
I don't know, but for some reason they funded a grad student to find out.
Amazing.
But I was really interested in edible insects. There's been a lot of buzz about them, as a...
Buzz.
And way too many puns. There's been a lot of interest in edible insects.
See, I make a lot of puns and it really bugs them.
Oh my God.
Fred, get off the show.
Well, people really thought that, this kind of protein could have legs. So they were...
We're not going to get through any of that.
Now there's two of them.
So I wanted to see if, in particular, if we could turn insects into meat alternatives. Because one thing people don't always appreciate, meat consumption and animal agriculture is one of the leading contributors to climate change.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And in turn, one of the leading contributors to food insecurity. And if we're going to have food, to feed 10 billion people in 2050, we've got to start looking at how the food we make impacts, the food we'll make tomorrow and our resource availability, and also how efficient it is. And so insects really tick all the boxes. They're a great form of protein. They're really efficient to raise.
I can't.
And
So you had this idea and it really took off.
it really took off. Yeah. So I was really
was a
interested in
stretch.
seeing if I had actually just written a paper about surimi, which is a sort of general term for mock crab. Fish balls, fish tofu, fish hams.
Yes.
You can go to Asian grocery stores and see whole aisles of different kinds of fish protein. And bugs and shrimp are cousins, from an evolutionary perspective. So I thought, well, maybe the same strategies that work for fish would work for bugs. And so I spent some evenings and weekends messing around in a little home lab. And then one day I called up my brother, who was doing his MBA. I said, I just invented cricket tofu. And we started the business.
Wow.
Now cricket tofu, tofu is a vegetarian product, but
Yeah. And so the name has caused us no end of misery. We originally called it Sifu, which was C for cricket and the fu for curd. And cricket tofu was how we described it. It looks like this. And you can feel it. It's kind of
Delish.
springy.
Yeah.
Wait.
so you don't eat this.
So you can eat that. I wouldn't eat that one because I always bring one for people to touch and I don't ask if they wash their hands.
Yeah.
That's like a fake one.
That's 100% real. That's crickets.
That's real?
Yeah.
It's cricket
I need
tofu.
to
That's
touch
crazy.
It looks like brains.
You guys.
It's more dense than I thought it would be.
Oh my God.
It's like a sponge.
Wait, how many crickets are in that?
So I don't count. There's probably about 150 crickets in there.
Oh, man.
Like, you eat this?
So you can eat that as it is. It's cooked. It's ready to eat. I really like to fry it. So I find when you brown it, just like raw meat doesn't have a lot of flavor on its own if you just ate it raw. But when you season it, you salt it, you add a little, you fry it a little bit, it browns.
Well,
in
it's
the
like
pan.
real tofu.
You guys, it looks like a brain.
It looks like a brain, yeah.
Oh my God, you remember in Powerpuff Girls, Mojo Jojo, he had a brain like this, right? Anyways, sorry.
Well, this is from crickets as well. We've made it now from 6 different insect species, different flavor, texture, and color from every one of them. And there's 2,000 right now that are documented edible, and the real number is probably closer to 2 million. So it's a whole world of flavor, texture, that's just not being explored, and that's beyond sustainability, beyond nutrition, and all the other great reasons to eat insects. There's just a whole world out there that I want to find out what it tastes like.
But do they actually taste good without any additional?
Yeah.
So it depends a lot on the bug. I've had some bugs that taste like dirt. I've had bugs that taste like scrambled eggs. I've had bugs
Really?
that taste. Oh yeah.
The old
Did you
egg
bring one of those?
Unfortunately, they're really expensive when we can get our hands on them. There's some really interesting ones. There's a bug I've worked with that tastes like paint. I've tried
do you
it
know
from
what
3
paint
different
tastes
suppliers.
like?
I'm speculating.
Okay.
By smelling it.
So I have a question. So is this like a vegetarian diet or a vegan diet? Like what is this considered?
So we find, I like to call it ento-vegan, which I don't think the vegans or the entomophagists really appreciate. For us, we try and say we're not in the business of finding out, whether or not what is vegetarian and defining what people are.
Right.
If you're a vegetarian and this appeals to you and and this aligns with your ethics, then we invite you to come and eat it. And if you're a vegan too, but
Before you go on, in case you hear any rumbling in the background, Lee's brother Ellie is actually off camera right now preparing some stuff. So I don't know if we can. We probably can't get a shot of him, but he's there. He's cooking. He's cooking.
Acknowledgement is better.
Yeah.
Pasta's ready.
But yeah.
Perfect.
But yeah, Matt, you had a
But
question.
also, so do you eat meat in your life at all or no?
I do. I think eating meat is part of a larger portfolio in food security, and I think meat has a role to play.
So how often do you eat insect stuff?
I mean, probably every day these days. Just because
So it's a part of your diet now?
It's a part of my diet, honestly, more than anything, just because I'm
to?
messing around, I'm trying something and I need to taste it. And it's a part of my diet too. I know when I've hit on something really good, like these dumplings and these hot dogs have been really fantastic, and I know they're really good because when it's midnight and I'm looking for something to snack, I reach to it without.
So you mentioned the ecological impact of this. Do you know the numbers in terms of? I mean, I've heard things about beef and how much beef raising cattle affects the environment. How much because you're using like farmed crickets, right?
Yeah, our insects are all farmed and they're food grade. They're raised for human consumption.
So what's the difference in terms of the ecological footprint?
It's pretty massive. I mean, there's a big variation in terms of beef production and ways to produce beef. But as a sort of standard benchmark, you're looking at about 20 times less feed, 200 times fewer emissions, and 2,000 times less water to raise a pound of cricket versus a pound of beef in terms of edible weight. Wow. And when you consider, for one, I mean, water's probably the biggest one, and I think water's something that, when we talk about sustainability, we often think about climate and carbon, but water is really critical. And making sure that we have enough water is going to be critical, especially to making food. Insects, for the most part, you want to keep them dry through their production. Whereas, cows, other animals, you use water not just to keep them hydrated, but also to keep them cool. Insects are much easier to raise for that. And the other one that isn't really explored yet is just land use. Right now we use a land mass roughly equal to 8 Brazils to raise all the farm animals on Earth. Brazil is roughly the size of Europe. If that's an easier scale. We clearly don't have 16 if we're going to try and double our meat production. And animal agriculture contributes a lot to climate change, not just through cows farting and releasing methane, that is a really big driver, but also just by clear-cutting rainforest and other areas that are sinks for carbon, that once they get cleared off, now they no longer absorb it, they're no longer producing oxygen, and they're releasing all of that stored carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere. Insects, on the other hand, I mean, you can't stack a cow, but you can stack a bin of mealworms, right? And you can raise them 1,000 feet high.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So there's no need to stick to this 2D paradigm in agriculture, which is, I mean, if you look at pretty much everything we grow, it grows in 2D space. But if you look at how people live, I mean, especially we're in condo buildings, we're moving into 3 dimensions. Right. Our food has to catch up if we're going to be able to sustain this kind of growth.
Dimensions.
I was just thinking, so how do you deal with the barrier of the psychological barrier that bugs are gross and I don't want to eat them? Because I feel like this can't be an uncommon thing that you come up against.
No,
right?
of course. So I hope part of that is, there's some foods out here on the table. We've got some cricket hot dogs. that have been really fantastic. I'm hosting a cookout later with them. Some dumplings we're actually doing with an event at City Hall on March 8th, a sustainable dim sum event. We're going to be serving these shumai. And then also these products that we've got here out through our brand One Hop Kitchen.
Yeah, okay, so
just real quick before you get into that, so do you just like get people to eat it and then tell them that they've eaten a bug and then they're like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be?
So we'd love to do that, and people always want us to do that.
Legal.
You can't.
It opens up a whole bunch of different challenges. And
Can of worms?
A can of worms, if you would. A non-proverbial one.
You have
I
to.
had to.
We were actually going to call the brand Can of Worms. It was on our list for One Hop Kitchen. But I personally think just honesty and transparency is really important here. And if we're going to build this environment, I want to show people that this is exciting. You should enjoy these foods because they're delicious, because they're different, because life is short, and because eating new things is fun. Start with that and worry about the rest of it later on. And if you don't want to eat crickets, if you don't want to eat bugs, that's fine. You don't hurt my feelings. I've got a tough exoskeleton. And we see this a lot.
So it's not the texture and things that, because there was a show recently that we did where literally Matt was eating a salt and vinegar flavored cricket, like I could stare into its face.
But it was fine.
But I mean, like, there's obviously going to be a very specific texture to that. Like, that kind of texture does not translate into the foods that you're making. Like, it's not.
It doesn't exactly. I mean, we can make things that are crispy and crunchy. And most of to begin with, 2 billion people on the face of the world eat bugs. And for the most part, they eat them crunchy. They dry them out, they sell them in big markets. And it makes sense too because most of those places don't have a lot of refrigeration. So they need a way to dehydrate food to preserve it. When we look though at meat in particular, and if we want to look at insects as a way to replace meat, then we have to look at how we mimic the texture in meat. And meat in particular has 2 very critical characteristics. It's chewy and it has fibers. Mimicking that there's been a ton of new innovations in the past 10 years in meat replacements. Insects offer some very unique benefits just because they have excellent nutrition and they can offer nutritional benefits that other forms of protein and plant protein can't offer. And they have proteins that we can really work with to create texture.
Cool.
So because you have seafood foods, but you also have One Hop Kitchen.
Yeah.
What's the
So
difference?
Seafood Foods is our first company. It's our ingredient company, and it makes things like this, textured insect protein, and sells those wholesale. It also does any kind of innovation in bug food. So we'll do all sorts of different things. We'll make ice cream, hot dogs, dumplings, whatever we're feeling.
Yum.
One Hop Kitchen we created because we wanted a way to engage with consumers directly. We wanted a way to make a product that could be shelf stable, we could ship around, and we could actually really get access. Because if you can't buy these products, if you can't get access to them, we're not going to start a movement. So One Hop Kitchen was created, we wanted a product that would take on meat, that we could manufacture ourselves, and that would be really tasty. So we looked at sort of what was out there, and bolognese sauce felt really ripe. So it is a classic bolognese sauce with a sustainable twist. Instead of using beef and pork, we're using crickets and mealworms, respectively, into 2 different items. And I think Ellie's whipped up some of the cricket and mealworm pasta you guys can taste.
I'm so excited.
And it's really interesting. I love having both of them too because you can taste the difference.
Well, we will get a chance to sample everything, but first, it's time for Tito's Midpoint.
This week we're playing Moot Point, and it's all food related. So a couple questions, and I'll give you options. So just find whatever. Choose the truth. I can't speak.
Choose the truth. Not because we're so bad
I
at
got
picking
bugs
the moot one, right? The false one. You would prefer that we choose the true one.
Yes, that is true. I'm thinking too much of bugs, and I can't.
Okay.
First, this canned fruit was the first ever fruit to be eaten on the moon. Peach or pineapple?
Peach.
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
Peach.
Go pineapple.
Peach.
Oh, peach. Canned peaches, cling peaches in heavy
On the
syrup.
moon.
On the moon.
In heavy syrup. That's why it was so heavy, because they needed heavy syrup because of the lack of gravity.
Really?
No.
No!
That's not a thing. It doesn't. If there's no gravity, it doesn't matter how much something.
Apples can wake you up in the morning better than coffee due to their high levels of this. Sugar or calcium?
Sugar.
Sugar, I would think.
Who? What?
Calcium.
Apple. An apple in
apple,
the morning is like
apple.
better than coffee, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, because of the high glucose levels. So sugar is
Sugar.
correct, yeah.
I just eat a bowl of sugar every morning.
You've heard of shellac being used to create an anti-chip manicure, but did you know that it's what's used to make this candy shiny too?
Werther's Originals.
Chocolates.
Okay, what are the choices?
Jawbreakers or jelly beans?
Jelly beans.
Jelly beans.
Yeah.
Really?
Would also add a bug fact. It is a
Oh
secretion
my
from cicadas.
God.
What, shellac?
Yeah, shellac comes from bugs.
Really?
So I've been eating bugs my whole life in the form of jelly beans.
Well, actually, I don't like manufacturers of like peanut butter and stuff. There's a certain amount of like insect parts they're allowed to have in the product.
Oh yeah. We like to say with One Hop Kitchen, everybody's products have bugs in it. We're just more upfront about it.
Right. Yeah.
There you go.
Like Starbucks, like red drink, like the red coloring, right? It's bugs or something.
Yeah, it comes from it's a red beetle.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. We are learning so much today.
It's widely acknowledged that if you do this while cutting an onion, it'll prevent you from crying.
Masturbate.
Chewing gum.
Oh my God.
Wow.
You can try that.
Forgot there's options.
With the knife in one hand.
Running a hot tap or holding your breath.
Holding your breath.
It's a hot tap.
Hot tap.
Correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's like this
The
steam
theory,
and stuff.
yeah, the
it's
theory
gonna
behind it
dilute
is that the
the-
steam from the hot tap will dissipate the vapors.
I heard like having a piece of bread in your mouth.
Okay.
Okay.
Contact
It kind
lenses
of worked. I tried. Anyway.
Contact lenses, yeah.
Oh, if you wear contacts, you won't cry from.
Really?
I mean, at least not from onions.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes. Yeah, thank you.
I mean,
From
emotional
broken heart.
distress, maybe.
Yes.
An average person will consume 12 of this in their fast food every year. Spiders,
Spiders.
or pubic hairs?
Pubic hairs.
Probably both.
Yeah.
Spiders.
How do you count?
Yeah, I think the pube hair count's going to be higher.
Pubic
Spiders.
hairs.
Really? How do they know?
How do they get in there?
count
From
this?
all the masturbation.
It's true. That is true. How do they measure that?
That's what
You
I'm
know
saying.
what? Let's not ask those questions. Made up of 96% water, this is one of the most hydrating foods to eat. Is it
Water.
cucumber or watermelon?
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
Actually, I'll say
I'll go
cucumbers.
cucumber.
Is it cucumber?
It's cucumber.
I
Yeah,
say
it contains
cucumber.
electrolytes, which helps your body restore what it may have lost through dehydration, making it the best hangover cure.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah.
Well, cucumbers
Really?
kind of just taste like water.
Water?
Where watermelon has
It's just water.
the
though.
sugary flavor.
Sugary, yeah.
Wasabi, more often than not, is actually just flavored.
Poison.
Horseradish.
Horseradish.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
Wasn't an option.
Fun fact. I have a fun fact today.
Oh, Tito has hashtag fun fact.
Here we go.
The ancient Greeks believed horseradish was worth its weight in gold.
Really? And why is that?
Moving on. Chocolate was once used as this: soap or currency.
Currency.
Soap?
Like, how quickly could you not?
Chocolate soap?
Like, how you would so quickly realize a horrible soap it would be. It's like, this is.
Yeah,
worse.
it's currency. Specifically, the Mayans and the Aztecs used cocoa
Oh,
bean as
yeah.
a system of money.
Yeah.
Wow.
Castoreum, which is used as a substitute vanilla flavoring, is actually taken from the anal glands
Beavers.
of
Sorry.
beavers.
It's like the
knows what's
best
up.
food trivia fact, but it's,
Wait,
it's
hold
raspberry
on.
flavoring.
Pause. Say that again.
Wait, it's raspberry flavor?
Yeah, apparently beaver anuses smell like raspberry.
Wow. What about otters?
I don't know. I only know about beavers.
It's like from
Hashtag
the
what about
musk.
Well, actually,
I love
hashtag I only know about beavers.
It's appropriate for this
I don't
show.
get the joke, actually.
Wait, so
The anal glands,
of beavers.
yeah, are a substitute for flavoring in this. It says vanilla on my card, but raspberry, I guess.
I
Technically
can't.
labeled as natural flavoring too.
Oh my God.
Well, beavers
So
are
that's
natural.
what that means when they say natural
Are you
flavoring.
talking about
raspberry or
vaginas again?
strawberry, usually.
I would never talk about vaginas. Go.
Last one. Almonds are actually this: a seed or a nut.
A seed.
What?
A nut.
Neither.
Trick question. No,
Oh, I thought it was a trick question.
it's a
Oh, it's
seed.
not.
Yeah, they're the seeds of a flower, and they're directly related to the botanical families of orchids and roses.
Wow. Well, there you go.
I always
See,
thought nuts were seeds.
Almonds are a seed, but you are a nut. Thank you, Tito, for today's midpoint.
Jeez.
That brings us to talking point number 2, naked lunch. So a new restaurant in Spain, in the Canary Islands, has opened up that allows you, there are naked people walking around and the food is on their bodies and you can eat it right off their bodies.
They can't walk around with food on their bodies.
Well, they're laying down.
On their shoulders.
Yes.
Diners then venture to their tables to soak in the orgasmic atmosphere.
Do you get to
according the
choose the
owner.
person you're eating off of?
I would think so.
Good question. Probably not. They're
went
just probably laying around on a table.
I went to a party one time where there was like a naked girl with sushi. Yeah, but it was like,
Ew.
she looked dirty in a way that like I did not partake in that sushi. I was just like
Was she just there for the whole party in one place?
No, I think it was only for a short period of time, but it's sort of like
Did she smell like fish?
Oh, okay. Okay, so
Brad?
can you tell us more about this?
What?
Can you tell us more about this? Because I'm very confused as to how.
So an eatery called Inato opened in the Canary Islands, and it's a completely nude restaurant. What does that mean? It means leave your clothes.
so
and
the patrons are also.
Oh, like
Yes.
even the customers are naked.
Oh, then I'm not going.
Diners venture to their table to soak in the orgasmic atmosphere, according to the owner.
And when you say orgasmic atmosphere,
A sex bamboo partitions section off the tables, so diners can enjoy their nude meal without fear of being seen by other diners, also enjoying their nude meal. And they have an aphrodisiac menu served on nearly nude male and female models who pose as really sexy, fleshy buffet tables.
I can't.
And this is from the website queerty.com. There's only the odd fig leaf or vine leaf to cover their modesty. And once you're full, you can enjoy the happy ending, which is a dessert of drizzled melted chocolate and strawberries that will go straight to your naked hips.
Okay, first of all, hold on, pause. So you're served the food on a naked person and you're naked yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have a leaf on their junk.
They can.
Oh, they can.
because there's nothing
Guys,
sexier
come
than
on.
somebody who's like stuffed full of a meal. Like
I would
that's when
totally
you want to
go.
be.
I
You're
would totally
completely
go. Yeah.
naked.
You would go naked.
I would probably go.
I mean, that's my only issue. But if I could walk in clothes and then get naked like behind the
We're not gonna like walk down the street naked and go in.
No, I mean, like, I'm sure they have a change room and then you walk in.
Yes.
Yeah,
But no.
you can,
I
like-
would want to walk in clothes and then take it off like behind the thing.
Yeah.
So nobody.
So no one, the other diners don't see you.
So they have one of those shirt
It's
shoes,
too much.
no service
Much.
signs.
Why?
They should just have private rooms, like
know.
karaoke, but just like a body with.
I just wonder if they wipe down the seats after when they change over service, and if
know,
you
like,
have to
how
tip the
clean
models.
is it?
You tip your server, but do you tip your
yeah.
serving platter?
Yeah, good question.
point.
I don't
Good
know.
point.
In terms of I would guess
What
it's like
if
a
I tip
doctor's
them?
office kind of thing where they've just got a big sheet of paper they just, pull across,
Well,
cut it off, throw it in the garbage. It just starts a big roll.
Do the
you know?
servers bathe in between servings? Because if they had like sushi
100%.
on one,
Allergic
and then they're serving,
reaction.
brisket.
And then you also don't
Guys,
want to
this
get
is
someone
just
at the end of
not-
like a 10-hour shift either, right?
Okay, well, Matt, if you are disturbed by that, I'm sure you will be disturbed by this.
Oh, God.
Here in Toronto, we now have our first poop-themed restaurant.
That is so cute.
And it's called, that's cute?
yes!
It's
not
called
actual poop.
It's called the Poop Cafe, and desserts are served
Pretty
in
clever
ceramic toilets and urinals, and there's much chocolate and nuts and poopy-looking sweets on the menu.
I love it.
Adorable.
That's so
See,
cute.
this I have a problem with.
Why?
It's fucking gross.
Yeah, it's really weird.
no, it's a cute.
They're like cute little turds.
Yeah, like,
no, but no.
But when was the last
When
time
have you ever looked at a poo and went, oh my God,
No,
where you were
it's-
taking a
because-
shit
okay, it's
going, this
cart-
should be a restaurant?
Yeah.
It's like cartoon little poops. Like it's not like actual shit pictures everywhere.
I know, but like when you're eating, like you have a problem eating naked, but you don't have a problem eating while you're sitting on a ceramic toilet?
I'm just saying, it's like all cute
It's
and
a cute
cartoony.
themed
yeah,
idea.
like, it's
But you're not naked at this place.
I know,
you're
but
not
you're sitting
naked.
on the toilet.
And
No,
you're
I'm
not
just saying.
shitting while you're eating.
No,
like,
but you're sitting on a toilet.
Oh my God. It's just, I think it's cute.
Would you could get your products into the Poop Cafe, maybe.
We could. I think we'd prefer other brand associations.
That doesn't. you
I
want
imagine
that
they
super
mostly
stuff?
serve roughage there.
Oh no, good, yeah. Good point. Okay, endpoints. Tito, Bop of the Week.
my gosh. Bop of the Week is Major Lazer featuring Party Next Door and Nicki Minaj. It's called Run Up.
Ori.
Yes. So I'm going to be in a play, as I said last time. It's a part of the New Ideas Festival at the Alumni Theatre in Toronto. It's at 70 Berkeley. It runs from March 5th to the 19th. And come check us out.
Woo!
And while we're on the insect tip, here is my endpoint. Evolutionary biologist Vazrik Nazari has discovered a new species of moth.
Oh, God.
And because the moth kind of looks like Donald Trump,
Stop.
he named the new species the Neopalpa Donald Trumpi. And hopefully we'll be able to get a picture of it on there. But I say,
That's so
How about
stupid.
That is ridiculous.
You're giving him more like
I
notoriety.
see that maybe for hot
there's a
dog.
moth now named after Donald
He
Trump.
has a nice coif.
Got a
does.
comb over, yeah.
It's a wig.
Or
But there are
shear,
no
whatever it
moths
is.
in what we're about to eat. These are mealworms and crickets, correct?
That's correct.
So what do we have here?
So we-
And actually, before you go on, Ellie, I know you don't have, you're a little camera shy, but bring the pasta.
Yay!
Bring the
I'm gonna get into
pasta.
this right now.
Okay. Now you're not mic'd, so just put it here and come behind. Just come behind here.
Yell
join
into
your
your
brother.
brother's shirt.
Join your brother. Here, it's such nice Jewish boys. Okay, so what do we have here?
So we've got our mealworm bolognese and our cricket bolognese, just on some penne pasta. A little drizzle of olive oil.
No, it's got.
No, I'm
It smells.
excited.
I'm gonna.
This
it
looks
smells
and
good.
smells like real, actual, delicious,
Okay. I
normal.
haven't stopped staring at the hot
food.
dog.
It's
Okay,
fantastic.
you know
Yeah,
what?
I would eat a hot dog.
Are we
we
going
go.
for it?
I'm going
okay,
for
wait.
it. This just looks like spaghetti sauce.
Oh,
on the
no.
floor.
I'm just going to do this.
It just tastes like spaghetti sauce.
Wait, okay, so I'm gonna eat worms.
There's one more.
Okay, here we go, you guys.
I know what everything tastes like.
Okay, let me taste this. Can I taste the hot dog?
Yeah, go for it.
May I try some of the
It just tastes like. Yeah, I want a
Thank you
dumpling.
very much.
Dumpling.
Put
There's a
some
little bit of
ketchup
soy
on it.
sauce here too.
So it smells like a hot dog.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry.
Oh, I think I got a wing. No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. I don't. No, it just tastes like spaghetti sauce.
The pasta sauce, so it's got just as much protein as a beef sauce. There's 5 grams protein per serving, but half the saturated fat and a third less cholesterol.
It tastes like a normal hot dog.
We always laugh when we get that because we're like, what do you think we were
What I was
going
supposed
for?
to say.
Literally on the last episode that we had, Bug thinks he ate a whole cricket. So I think that's what
want
he's
a hot
expecting
dog.
the taste to probably
pass
be.
a hot dog.
Okay, yeah, pass me the dumpling.
While we're eating, Lee, if people want to find your products, have questions.
Yeah, so we are Seafood Foods. You can check out our ingredient company at www.seafoodfoods.com.
That does not taste like a hot dog.
It does, kind of. You don't think so?
You don't like the hot dog?
Stop it, drink some water.
All right, be nice to our guests.
Wait, so, okay, sorry, what's
Yum.
in this one? Worms? What's in this?
Oh, that's crickets.
And what's the ball?
He's gonna get addicted
Oh, it's
to
just a little
crickets. now.
caviar.
It just.
That's the
It
same
tastes,
thing.
I mean,
on
it's
It's like a veggie dog.
It's like that's what it tastes like. It's kind of like a tofu dog. Okay, so if people are interested in your product,
Yeah, so you can check us out at seafoodfoods.com. We'll also be at the Sustainable Dim Sum event
God.
at City Hall March 8th.
in Toronto.
In Toronto. It's a fundraiser for a number of environmental charities.
And One Hop
And
Kitchen.
One Hop Kitchen is online at www.onehopkitchen.com, as well as in Goodness Me stores all over the Golden Horseshoe. So we're all over.
Otherwise
and-
known as the Toronto area.
the Toronto area. And we will be actually at the St. Lawrence Market on next Saturday,
Okay. This Saturday, the 18th.
the 18th, on February 18th, out sampling it.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Love
Well,
it.
this actually, my favorite is I don't know about everybody else, but
taste
my
it.
favorite is the
It's
sauce.
so good.
The sauce tastes
it?
like good
Yeah.
pasta sauce.
Is that just for me?
I like this. This
Secret
is great.
ingredient is good tomatoes.
Well, there you go. Isn't that always? Well, do you have any cricket blintzes?
We're working on them.
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you, Lee. Thank you, Ellie.
Thank you.
And how to get in touch with us? I almost forgot. youtube.com/thepointguys. iTunes, check us out there to get the audio podcast. YouTube, of course, subscribe to us here. Pate, our crowdfunding site is, oh, poor Tito. Our crowdfunding site is patreon.com/thepointguys, and our website for everything The Point is thepointguys.net. Thank you, guys. Thank everybody
Thank you
else.
so
I'm gonna
much.
eat.
It's so good.
This is really good. I'm just gonna eat this. I'm just gonna eat this whole thing.
Try to end.
A new show every Tuesday, so we will see you next Tuesday on The Point. This is good.
Yummy,
So
yummy.
good.